I've been stuffed in your pocket for the last 100 days. When I don't get my bath, I take it out on the sleighs. So grease up your baby for the ball on the hill. I'll polish them rockets now and swallow those pills and say, oh. SpaceLords, mother.
Oh yeah? Go fuck yourself with a can opener, wanker.
There's a car in the field now in a column of flame, with 2 doors to choose, but only one bears your name. You've been drinking my blood, well, I've been licking your wounds. Well, I'll shave off the pitch now and the scope of your tune. You'll sing, oh. SpaceLords, mother.
Fuck!
I let my throne a million miles away. I drink from your tear, I sing the blues every day. Now give me the strength to split the world in two, yeah. I hate all the rest, and now I've gotta eat you. Well, I said,
He's crazy. She's naive. As for me, I'd settle for a roll in the hay with her highness. Where is my music?
milking my nightmares and using my name. You're strobing my cortex when you know I'm insane. I'm squeezed out in overdrive, I'm drowning in love. I encompass a mortal position above and sing, oh. SpaceLords, mother.
Was this part of your plan? Did it include this bitch kicking me in the balls too?
Hello everyone and welcome to my video on SpaceLords. Today I'll be going over a few topics that I feel that need addressing. Whilst I'm not a fully fledged veteran, unlike some players that I speak to, I've put a significant amount of time into this game so that I can chime in with the community. And just before we get this video started, I am in no way bashing SpaceLords. I've been playing this game since mid-late August, and it's quickly became one of those games that I go in between whilst playing Warframe, and don't judge me, but this video has been long overdue and it's about time I get this ball rolling. So without further ado, let's kick this shit started. The first thing that I want to go over, and which is the biggest problem this game has had since I found out about it, and that's region locking. I don't know why, but for the most part, the most recent free-to-play games that have hit PSN have been region locked. I don't know why they do it. People argue that it's just to save up on bandwidth and ping, but the thing is, a couple of my friends on PSN, I've gave them an EU account so they can download the EU client and play with me. We've had ping rate of anywhere in the region of say 76 to 193, the highest, and his internet isn't the best. You know, I just, it baffles the mind to why a developer would allow region locking on their game. It just kills the matchmaking for me. It takes anywhere in the region of 30 seconds to maybe up to 5 minutes. Even times where I've set the game not to be match made with cross-platform, and it's just done that because it can't find me a game, or it's just outright cancelled matchmaking because it takes that long in general. So for me, region locking really is the biggest ball and chain that this game will ever have, and I hope to God that they sort it out. So the second thing I want to talk about is mental matches. Whilst it looks good on paper, it's heavily flawed and doesn't translate very well in SpaceLords. It's pretty much a free carry for newer players. It's not entirely their fault because there's no guided game, there's no tutorial, there's nothing explaining how the game works or even how its mechanics works for specific raiders. And when I first wanted to play this game, I wanted to go in like a solo or some form of training, and I couldn't. You had to play a certain match 3 to 5 times just so you can do it by yourself. Now, for the most part, what I found out is new players, because they don't understand the game, they like to go in Rambo, and they would just want to go and kill as many ads as they can, or just run up to a boss and just, you know, like Kuzman, batter the fuck out of him because it looks like another player. And no, spoilers, he punches the ground, you die, you lose, it does, no bueno.
Your tricks will do no good. No good!
But one thing that really does irritate me is on some missions where you have to use the extraction point. No matter how much you go up to someone, if they're dead set on clearing out ads and you say come with me or you need help, they won't understand, they won't listen, and ultimately you have your score lowered because they don't understand the extraction. Now what I feel that they should implement is if you go into the extraction point, it should automatically just extract you rather than just having to interact with it. And I feel like small changes like that would bring such a better quality of life experience to most new players. Or even I think some vets would appreciate not having to scream at your screen because your blueberry doesn't understand how to get out. But a second point that I want to bring up is having to go through buying new characters and then you got to progress them. I recently got Mika, and I had no faction points for her. I got nothing. So I'll go into a mission and surprise, it's a mentor match. I'm trying to get a blueprint, so at this point I don't care. And I'm in with a level 70, so I'm thinking, you know, it's not going to be that bad, I can get through this. But at some point through the mission, he just completely disconnects. Whether it's because the blueberries in him cannot get rid of the ads fast enough, it's just leaving me to do all damage to the boss, because the two blueberries, they're not faring so well, they don't really understand the way it's going. And I feel that they need to add a system in which you can play solo. So if you're having to do like a rare blueprint mission and you've got to do 2 or 3 games in a row to get your blueprint, and then you come to the final mission and you fail because your team isn't adequate enough, then you're being essentially penalized because you cannot get a team of 4 together and complete the mission. So implementing something like solo matchmaking would be a godsend for someone like me. Or, like the first point, fix region locking so I can play with other players. The third topic I want to talk about is my favorite, the antagonist system, and the not so favorite, the equilibrium. Now, anybody that's been to my channel before will understand that I love playing the antagonist. Not because I like being that guy, but because the antagonists offer an unfair advantage that challenges players, and not many games offer that. But one thing that really winds me up about matchmaking, the devs have released a patch note about how the MMR works, and they said they're going to be making tweaks to it, so I'm not going to say anything just in case it will be misinformation or it will just be obsolete by the time that this video goes out. So I'm just going to leave that for another day. But the one thing that really makes it unfair is as you level up you gain resistances and buffs to your damage. Now it's not fair that I'm, as of now, 114 and I'm being paired with levels 5s, 9s, 12s and 1s. Now, it doesn't make it any better that during this clip I'm playing as Doldrin, which I'm supposed to be squishy. So within 2-3 hits, or you know, a couple of bullets from a mag, I should be at least be weak, or if not dead. But from the most part, I'm not. So ideally, when it comes to playing as an antagonist, to make it like a fair and even field, they should remove level-based advantages to other players at least. So swiftly moving on to the next topic, the equilibrium. To me, it seems more like a tool that the devs put in there to force players to play as antagonists, just so that they can acquire XP faster, so they can level up and get the shit that they want to obtain. Now, to me, it really seems kind of counterproductive, and when I used to play in groups, none of us wanted to lose out on our winning streak, or even want to just break from the squad just to play as an antagonist so we can level up faster. So the way we could go around it is to either increase the amount of XP that the antagonists get towards the equilibrium, and or increase the rewards for the antagonist in general, because half the time it's not really worth the rewards that you get based on the amount of gold and XP or faction points that you get. Or even better yet, just give us like antagonist exclusive rewards, or even bonus for shitting all over a raider's mission. The second idea, which sounds completely unorthodox, which is maybe add more than one antagonist, maybe even two, and like for certain missions that need Aleph to progress the mission to the point where there's no ads and it's just the whole team and two antagonists. Food for thought. So the fourth thing that I want to talk about is the grind. Now, I know SpaceLords is a free-to-play game, and the developers need to monetize it in certain aspects so that they can keep sweet-ass content coming through. And yes, I did see the post of the new Raider, but the first thing that really turns off new players is initial Raider cost. Now, there's one or two things you can go around about it, and because there's no refund button once you've purchased a Raider, and that's one-time use deals. And the one or two of them would be, you can pay 10 to 20% of the initial Raider cost, and then you have them for a whole entire day, and that's it. Or the second option is you can pay 20 to 30,000 gold, and you can have them for 5 missions, and then you find out whether you like the character or not. Or you can just entirely give us more gold. I mean, to be fair, when it ties into having the forging mechanic, I have no problems with the forge. It feels relevant, but I don't know if there's a cap, what's the cap, and why does the forge cost still keep going up. Now, I'm at level 115, so that my basic and advanced blueprints are like 36,000 and the rares are 90. So it almost feels relevant to real life, where you go out, you go to work, you come back home, you've made money. You go to the store and then you find out that everything's just spiked up in price because, well, it just fucking did. I don't know, you leveled up at your job. I don't, it just feels like you're being penalized for essentially playing and enjoying the game. Which segues perfectly into what we're going to be talking about next, which is, if you guess the topic subject, RNG within RNG. Now, the issue that I have is when you go and play a mission and then you've got raiders that have like multiple of rares and regulars, you essentially have to roll for a roll. Now, whilst the scoring system is perfectly fine the way it is, I just don't feel that it's fair that you have to then get multiple blueprints of, I don't know, whatever weapon you've already got, like, I don't know, maybe even 5 of, and then you have to then keep playing the same mission until you either fail on a roll or you get the roll. And it's made even worse by the fact that you rarely get a roll for a weapon you want, and then your team did shit, you've lost out on that blueprint. Maybe it could be a perfect time to maybe having the antagonist exclusive rewards, where if you play a mission with a blueprint up for grabs, that you can have a choice of what blueprints you want to pick from the reward pool for that character. Obviously, You can't have it always the new weapons or always whatever is like the meta at that moment, because that would just fucking throw balance and shit well out the fucking window. But the moderation, I think that it could be used in a better way. So the last few things that I want to talk about is not problematic, but it's more frustrating than anything else. And one of them is cutscenes. Now, when you first start playing the game, you want to see a little backstory, or you want to see why you're doing exactly what you're doing on the field, or who you're doing this favor for, or why you're trying to recruit, you know, X party. Now, the thing that makes it worse is once you've put time into the game, watching these cutscenes again becomes a chore. And you can almost guarantee it when you go into a mentor match, that new player will always, or 7 times out of 10, will want to watch every last cutscene. Like if it comes up, they're gonna hold X or whatever action it is for them to watch that cutscene. And you're going to be sat there for the better part of at least 5 minutes just waiting for them all to go along. And I mean, I'm not just talking like watching the briefing room, but they will want to watch the en route to said objective. And then if there's like a cutscene in between the mission, they will want to watch that as well, which then just makes the whole fucking gameplay and the flow of it just thrown out the fucking window. Now, what they could do is, well, they've already implemented it. It's a little tab when you go into the adventure. Just below training, you'll see cutscenes. Now, it would be nice just to, when you've completed the whole campaign, that you never have to see those cutscenes again. You've already seen them. You know what it's all about. So, I mean, I have to wait around about like 2 to maybe 3 minutes to find a match, say if I'm just looking for gold or if I'm doing a blueprint mission. So it's just more time for me just to sit there and get pissed off. So please, if you're watching this, developers, I'd really appreciate it if you took cutscenes out when you're trying to load into a game. So now I'm done bitching about cutscenes, we're going to move on to the next subject, which is rewards. Now, whilst the scoring is perfectly fine the way it is, and the faction rep acquisition, that's fine. I ain't got a problem with that. But one thing I really do have an issue with is gold acquisition rate. It's far too low for players that are trying to actively grind for more characters. Combined with the fact that you've then got to fork out another 36 or 90,000 to craft a weapon. It ramps up the cost very quickly, and the acquisition rate ain't that great. So once again, I'm going to reiterate, more gold. Gold is love, gold is life. So as this video is coming to a close, the last thing I want to talk about is bugs and glitches. Now thankfully I haven't ran into too many, or many that I've even noticed or bothered to take note of, but the biggest thorn in my side is the weapon from the past. Now, the bug is towards the latter bit of the mission, where you have to charge the relic on an altar. I'm not sure what triggers it, but I think it's when you go and kill one of the looters, that as soon as they've taken the relic and you kill them, when you finish charging that relic on the altar, it will just spawn like 50 meters below the map. And the only way that I know how to fix or even complete the mission from that point is allowing the looter to take the relic and put it on their altar, so then when you take it, you just continue with it. But I mean, it's not game breaking, it's not, you know, it doesn't put a downer on the day, but it's difficult to tell your teammates that, rather than keep proposing to surrender, and then I've just fucked my own MMR up, and I sure as shit am not getting that rare blueprint drop on that mission. But I mean, thankfully I haven't ran into many bugs with this game, and I've got to say the developers have done a great job with this game as it is. I love SpaceLords, and as long as content keeps coming and the gameplay is as solid as it always is, I will always keep returning. But until they fix that region lock, sadly I'm not gonna burn any money on it, because I know my purchases won't carry over should I want to play with my friends that are across the transatlantic ocean. And apologies, this is the first real video that I've purposely made a list and compiled together, so if you can't hear me too well, or if the music's too loud, or better yet, if I've missed anything in this video, please be sure to comment down in the video and I will respond, or we'll just get chit-chatting on any or whatever platform. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys, and hopefully we'll make this a thing.
Amazing! Played like a true pro.
Whilst I'm not a fully fledged veteran, unlike Sasuke, please give us more gold. It's not enough. I can't deal with it. My rent's due and everything.